For the presenter, the group 8 about syllabus design in ELT evaluating grammatical functional themes time is yours.
Okay, good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Today we will present the course of curriculum and learning material development. The lecturer are Dr. Saiful Bahri and Dr. Farul Razi, and we will present about syllabus designs in EL, evaluating grammatical, functional, situational, text-based, content-based, and genre-based approach. And our member is Kak Maulina Nur Hikmawati with student number 2502120 and 007. And the second is Anissa Ayu Fatimah Zero. The student number 250218042. And the last is me, Navina Aprilia, with student number 25021800021. Okay, the first material will be presented by Kak Maulina.
All right, everyone. Today, our group will present you the syllabus design in English language teaching. We're going to break down and present the six approaches. And at the end, we will evaluate among the six approaches, which one is the best approach for designing syllabus in ELT. And the goal for this presentation is understanding the definitions, features, strengths, and weaknesses. Next slide, please. All right, what is syllabus? If we talk about syllabus in ELT, syllabus serve a foundational component in curriculum development. It functions as a roadmap for teaching and learning toward achieving learning goals, essentially translating the broad philosophical and institutional framework of the curriculum into concrete plans of instruction. Syllabus is more pragmatic and classroom focused than curriculum. A syllabus provides an explicit statement of the content, skills, and tasks to be covered, answering two main questions: what will be taught and in what sequence. In this sense, syllabus design is central to the effective implementation of language teaching. Next slide, please. All right, we will introduce you to 6 types of syllabi in ELT. First one is grammatical or structural syllabus, in other words. Second is functional notional syllabus or functional syllabus approach. And then situational syllabus approach, task-based syllabus approach or TBLT, task-based language teaching, and content-based syllabus, and last but not least, genre-based syllabus or GPA. We will deliver you one by one. Now we go to the first approach of this syllabus design in ELT, which is grammatical syllabus, or we can call it structural syllabus. What is grammatical syllabus? Grammatical syllabus it also called structural syllabus in which the content of a language course is organized around grammar forms or structures. For example, tenses, clauses, modals, etc. And the key features for grammatical syllabus are focused on forms, sentence level accuracy, like morphology and syntax. And then grammatical syllabus also sequence from simple to complex, like in tenses, we have present simple, past simple, and then present perfect. And grammatical syllabus also deals with drills and control practice. For example, in practice, if we teach tenses, like for week 1, we can give grammar focus of present simple with communicative activities like talk about daily routines. And then week 2, we have present continuous focus, grammar focus with communicative activities like describing a busy scene. And then next in week 3, we can teach past simple tense with activities like telling a personal story. So, in other words, it's sequences from simple to complex, drill central practice, like what I told you for the example in practice. And grammatical syllabus has some strengths, like it gives clear roadmap and easy sequencing. Teachers and learners have a clear roadmap which grammar structures will be taught and when. This makes planning, course design, and assessment easier to do. And then grammar syllabus is also a measurable progress and gives measurable assessment too. Because structures are discrete, you can measure if students have mastered a given grammar points. It lends itself to testing grammar knowledge. And then grammatical syllabus approach also suitable for beginner level of English language learners. Cause for learners who have little or no knowledge of the target language, a grammar-based approach provides needed scaffolding. It ensures essential form will be learned early for the beginner level of English learners. But grammatical syllabus approach also have some weaknesses. We can't ignore that grammatical syllabus tend to ignore discourse and communicative. And also it can overemphasizing on correctness. And that can lead to demotivating learners to uh, give more attention and motivated to learn more because the sequence is from simple to complex. When it gets more complex, students can get demotivated. We can't ignore that weakness. All right, so we're done with grammatical syllabus. Now we go to the next approach, which is functional syllabus or functional notional syllabus. Next slide, please. Functional syllabus. What is functional syllabus or notional functional syllabus? Functional syllabus organized around communicative functions, like, for example, greetings, leave-taking, requesting, asking for something, apologizing, asking for directions, those kind of things. And also notions like time, quantity, size, etc. Some key features in functional syllabus. First one, functional syllabus focuses on language in real life use. For example, it could be in the form of role plays, dialogues, and simulations. Functional syllabus also sequence by usefulness of frequency, not grammar. The strengths of functional syllabus, first, it goes without saying that it is very communicative relevance, and it will lead to high motivation for the learners, and also functional syllabus can integrate skills naturally. Students or learners will integrate skills naturally by practicing by if we teach using functional syllabus approach. But functional syllabus also have some challenges. Sorry for the typos or the incorrect words for that. It should the last point should be challenges or contrast. The contrast for of functional notional syllabus is first one, it lacks of systematic grammar coverage, like um, some grammar's form may be omitted or not truly taught because they do not appear in the chosen function. This can lead to gaps in grammatical competence. And also in functional syllabus approach, uh, there will be a difficulty in sequencing. Like it's not always clear which function should come earlier or later, or by what criteria, like the difficulty, frequency, or learner's readiness of learning the content. And last but not least, in functional syllabus approach, it can you can it risks in phrasebook learning. Like there's the tendency to teach fixed expressions or set phrases for functions like here's how you apologize, here's how you ask for direction, here's how you ask for something like would you please, this kind of atomic or phrasebook reach will tend to teach fixed expression or set phrases for function without enabling learners to vary or produce their own utterance. So we're done with grammatical and functional syllabus. Next syllabus approach will be presented by my fellow teammate, Ocha. Ocha, the time is yours.
Okay, thank you very much for the opportunity. Good morning, everyone. Now I will explain about the situational syllabus. So, a situational syllabus organizes language teaching around real life situations, such as at the restaurant, at the post office, or at the airport. So the idea is that language is learned more effectively when it's presented in meaningful context, when it's presented in meaningful context that learners might actually face in daily life. So each lesson usually follows a clear sequence. First, presentation, where new language is introduced in context. Second, practice, where students repeat or manipulate the language. And finally, production, where learners perform a role, play, or communicate freely. So the strength of this approach are that it provides clear, concrete context, making it easier for beginners to understand and use language practically. It's also teacher-friendly and helps students learn useful expressions for daily situations. So, however, the weakness is that it can become too mechanical, focusing too much on memorizing phrases. Also, the situations might feel artificial and spontaneous communication. So, in summary, the situational syllabus is effective for beginners and everyday communication, but it needs to combine with other approaches to develop fluency and adaptability. So next syllabus type is the task-based syllabus, or we can call that TBLT like that. This approach puts task, real meaningful activities at the center of learning, according to Nunn, 2004, and Wills, 1996. A task is any activity where learners use the target language to achieve a real outcome, such as solving a problem, planning a trip, or performing a role play. So the TBLT framework usually includes three main stages. First, there is pre-task, the teacher introduces the topic and gives useful expressions. So there is task cycle. Students complete the main task in pairs or groups. So there is language focus. After that, they reflect on the language used, discuss errors, and refine accuracy. Are that it promotes authentic communication, increases motivation, develops fluency, and encourages learner autonomy. It also integrates all language skills like speaking, listening, reading, and writing naturally. So on the other hand, those challenges include difficult assessment, teacher expertise requirements, and classroom management issues. For example, like group work might cause noise or unequal participation. But overall, CBLT is considered one of the most effective modern approaches, especially in the Indonesian context under the Merdeka curriculum, because it focuses on real communication and active learning. So next approach syllabus that can explain by this Novi.
Okay, thank you, Pak Ocha. Now I will explain about content-based syllabus. Okay. Now, this approach is organized language learning around meaningful topics or subjects such as science, history, and environment. The main idea of this approach is that students can learn language naturally while they are learning something interesting or relevant into their life. For example, they learn in English we can discuss about climate change. So students can might learn about new vocabulary like pollution, recycle, or global warming while reading articles and having discussion about the topics. So instead of the learning grammar tools in isolations, they use language to explore the real issues in the real, which makes learning more engaging and purposeful. The features of this content-based syllabus, which learning through meaningful content. For examples, in content and language learnings. This context where language and subjects knowledge are developed together. So it can have benefits, increase their motivations, critical thinking, and integrating their skill like listening, speaking, reading, and writing. However, this syllabus have a cons also that which the teacher need to have both language and subject matter expertise, which can be demanding. So, because it's also focused on the content, grammar coverage can be uneven if it's not carefully planned. Okay, next is about genre-based approach. Next slide, please. Okay, now let's talk about genre-based approach. Or we usually call it GBA. Okay, this approach is focused on how language works in different types of text. It's based on systemic functional linguistics or SFLs, which views language as a tool for making meaning in social contexts. So students not only learning grammar or vocabulary, but also how to use language appropriately depending on the context and purposes. Okay, there is four cycles on this GPA. The first is building knowledge of the fields. Okay, in this section, but teacher will be give the topic or the backgrounds to build students' knowledge related to the target text. Okay, and the next is modeling of the text. In these sections, there is text, and students will be analyze the examples of the target genre to understand its structure, language feature, and the purpose. And the third cycle is the third stage is joint construction of the text. Now in this section, both of students and teacher write text together with questions and discussions in the classroom like that. Okay, the next is independent construction of the text. So in the sections, finally, students approach their own text independently, applying what they have learned before. And the strengths of this GBA is they can improve their writing and literacy skills. They raise a good genre and awareness, and this is a support with modern curriculum, which emphasize making meaning and authentic learning. But GBA have and also have a weakness like GBA can consume the time consuming we can much consuming at time to finish our day stage one by one. And require teachers to deeply understand the genre pedagogy and guide students through its stage. And then and the next is risk of formatting teachers. Writing, sorry. Okay, move to next slide is about comparative analysis. We have learned about the six types of syllabus. Ask the first components its syllabus. Okay, the first is a critical syllabus. This is this drawing of this syllabus is have a systemic and clear. So it's making very easy to follow both of the teacher and the beginner. But however, it focused too much on grammar and rules, so it's not very cumulative. The next is about functional syllabus. The syllabus is more practical and motivating. It's based on real life communications like requesting, apologizing, or inviting. But the weakness is that grammar coverage tends to be weak and unsystematic. Okay, the next is situational syllabus. Next is this syllabus is contextual and useful. And as a teacher, is a language through real life situations such as at a restaurant, airport, and another. However, the limited is to specific situations, and it doesn't prepare students for unexpected context. Now, moving on the text-based syllabus or text-based approach. This is focus on the authentic communication and integrated art skills like listening, speaking, reading, writing. And it's great for developing fluency and learning autonomy. And the challenge of this stage is the assessment can be difficult and require more classroom management skills. Then now is a content-based syllabus. Connect language learning with meaningful knowledge. For example, learning through topics like science on environmental issues. And it can increases motivation relevance, but teacher needs to master both of the language and the subject, which can be demanding. Okay, and finally, we have genre-based approach. It can help students text structures and improve the skills through scaffolding. It's strongly aligned with a modern curriculum like Curriculum Merdeka, but it can be time consuming and require teachers strong pedagogical expertise. Okay, next please. Okay, which work best? But we think that no single approach is best. But in the more learners, standard syllabus like text-based approach or GBA and CODES are most effective in the teaching strategies. But we can use a hybrid model can combine examples like task-based approach with grammatical support and jungle instructions. Okay, next please. Okay, the implication for practice. For curriculum designer, the first is you need to define the outcome, define the outcome first, and the second you can integrate approach and their strategies. And next is provide research and teaching trainings. Okay, now for teachers, we need to balance fluency and accuracy. And then the second is depend on pedagogical and depend on pedagogical expertise, and this is manage classroom challenge. Okay, next is the questions of our presentation. That we have 6 major approaches reflects different theories of language and learning. The traditional syllabus like grammatical, functional, and situational is the foundation but limited. And we have modern syllabus like text-based syllabus, content-based syllabus, genre-based syllabus, which align with communicative competence. Okay, the best choice for building a syllabus or approach, we can choose hybrid or learner-centered models. Okay, that's all from us. Thank you for your attention, and now move to the Q&A sections. You can raise your hand for giving us questions. Yeah, Mas Iwan.
Okay. Thank you for the opportunity. I would like to know how genre-based syllabus can be aligned with modern curriculum, you said? Can you give me the example of it? Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Iwan, I'll make sure the question first is how genre-based can be aligned with modern curriculum, right? The genre-based approach is starting by building knowledge. Okay, most of text or handout for student using this approach, like you can see the book for Nice Student by Mr. Puji. Prof. Puji. Okay, the genre based with they can align with the first they they will build the knowledge of the topic. So in this curriculum, they will give the activities how to student will build the knowledge first.
To align genre-based syllabus approach into our modern curriculum, we can do it by integrating the focus on real-world language use and communicative competence. It will go along with concrete example. Do you get what I mean, Rihwan?
Okay, thank you.
Anyone want to add?
Okay. Kak Lia, you want to add or you want to ask?
I want to ask a question. May I? Actually, it's not really a question. It's just asking your opinion related to your material. Yeah. So you guys already mentioned like for about 5 kind of type the syllabus, content based, and then genre based, and test based, then functional syllabus, and so on. What's your opinion? What's the most fit on you in teaching process? Since Miss Lina, as a teacher, maybe would you share your opinion related to that? And Novi and Ocha also as a teacher on Lantip and nowadays, I just want to hear your opinion. That's it.
Right, I will answer first, and then Novi and Ocha will add. So, as we mentioned in our presentation, at the end of our presentation, we delivered you our evaluation of these 6 approaches of syllabus designing. So, in our perceptions and our discussions, the best approach to be used in designing syllabus is to do hybrid. Hybrid means we combine 2 or 3 or even more of these approaches in designing syllabus. In our conclusion, in our discussions, we go with combining, wait a minute, TBLT approach with grammatical syllabus approach and genre genre-based approach. So this at least these 3 approaches cover all the needs the learners and to be able to the learning objective in ways. So that's our conclusion of after we learned about this 6 syllabus approach designs. That's all.
All right, thank you, Miss Lina. The result is hybrid and combine them. Thank you.
Yes. Only time. Do you want to add, Novi and Ocha?
Yeah, I want to add. Can I add? Yeah, because I'm not like a teacher pada umumnya, pada umumnya. No, me as a teacher of, specifically that I'm a teacher of speaking enrichment in bilingual class, like that. If me, this is my opinion, believe the most suitable syllabus is task-based combined with a genre-based approach, like that. Because like in my experience in bilingual classroom, students already have some exposure to English, but they often need more confidence and opportunities to actually use the language like that. So that's why TBLT for my teaching fits really well. It encourages students to speak naturally through meaningful task like role plays, like the role plays through interviews or problem-solving discussions. Like for example, I can design a speaking task where students plan a school event together or present about a social issue like that. And these activities help them focus on fluency on communication, not just grammar accuracy. Also that at the same time, the genre-based approach, GBA, is also important, especially when students need to speak in specific contexts, like giving a speech, or telling a story, or doing a short presentation. Also, GBA helps them understand the structure and language features of its speaking journey. So for my speaking enrichment class, I use TBLT to promote fluency and interaction, and GBA to build organization and accuracy. I think this combination fits bilingual learners very well because it supports both their communicative confidence and their ability to use English academically, like that. I think that depends on where is no di mana kamu ngajar ya sih. I don't know. That's my opinion.
Okay,
How
may I add something?
Nikki?
Okay, this is my opinion based on my Lantip experience at public school at one in Semarang with heterogeneous competence like that. So mostly we use Jungle because the cycle of Jungle is have can help improve the student in English. So we give them the first knowledge first. We can study together and we analyze example of the text like that, and so we can work together how to write it in the right ways, and the next student are able to improve their skill by produce some things like making video for explaining something, or we can make a writing text like that. So it can be I think based on your focus and what you where is where is the school and the curriculum, the type of the school, like bilingual school or public school like that. We have to know the what is it student competence first. Okay, thank you.
So much clear. I found that so many point of view from the three of you and the three different teachers. Thank you so much. Happy weekend.
Okay, thank you for your attention and your time, and see you guys. Happy weekend.